Well, here's what it's gonna look like, sort of. We can get rid of this now, because yes, Virginia, we fixed our Kickstarter, and it clears, it hugs in nicely. So, there we go, we've got a kickstart return spring on it, no more abuse on the Kickstarter ratchet, which will be good to have. So, hits the pipe a bit, but that's to be expected. Headlight needs to be wired up. I put an extra heavy-duty clutch cable on it. This is the size of most of the B44 clutch cables history. Or, no, this mostly is the brake cable, but the brake cable here, if you look at the thickness compared to this clutch cable, it's quite significant. So that was an old school heavy-duty enduro clutch, and for racing and stuff like that, I guess. And other than that, the timing's set. We're going to take the carb bowl apart, check the float level. I don't think that the float level is right because it's not getting gas on the tickler when I tickle it. So that's a big problem. I made a manifold on the 3D printer here. So this goes into the air box, which will be in the back here, inside this air cover, taking advantage of all that air being scooped up. And from the front, it's a little bit wider with those covers, but nothing too egregious considering what they are. And on the other side, makes it look like a bigger bike too, that's for sure. So there you go. A little bit of a yellow jacket. Adds maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 an inch at the most to the sides where the covers are going on top of the actual oil tank and the battery cover. But the lines line up, so that's nice. And it lines up with the frame, and the black case underneath doesn't show up as much when it's painted, so there you go, that was the idea. We got another 3D printed instrument panel. Did this last night, and because we have the tack, we will put the tack here. And we reroute the wires to get underneath it. But that's where the tack will be. And I have a proper voltmeter. I think out of a BMW maybe, I'm not sure. But it works. And then the speedo. So we'll get all this mounted up, and that'll be our dashboard. We'll put a fly screen on it like this, and we have the BSA trim to go on the front of it, the aluminum BSA trim. So we'll do that as well on this bike. Replace that gas cap with a chrome one, and touch up the paint around the back there at the oil tank. Maybe touch up this hole here for the oil tank as well, and clean it up a bit so that I can have it easily turned on and off, or opened and closed. I've got my temperature gauge here, which I have to silicone in, which happens to be okay location on this tank. Doesn't interfere with the cover, so that's really good. I don't have to re-drill a hole in the tank, and I can just seal this up. So rear taillight's working, no problem. This is a rocker box breather. You shouldn't really have any pressure in your rocker box, or else you have leaks. So that's just mostly for atmospheric pressure on the rocker box, and to create a little turbulence in there, and pressure doesn't build up so much. So that's my plan for that. It seems to have worked for me. And there you go, keeping it away from the front exhaust where you want all the oil from the rocker box feed. So we'll cut up some of the zip ties and clean that up. Maybe put the front mount on, the center mount, I'm not sure yet. But next day or two I'll get this carb sorted out, and we'll have it first kick. And I'll catch you guys later. VGP Race Bike Cafe. That's what I call this. Have a good day.